Why are you wearing that? Why are you wearing your vest?
Because I look nice.
You do look kind of nice. I think you might be hot in that today, though.
Nah, I'll take it off if I am. I'm a bit old now.
He was?
Yeah.
Be right back. I am running late. Okay, let's do this. I'm gonna do this a little bit sloppy and handheld this morning since I am running late to my dentist appointment. Pretty foggy out this morning. I want to do a little update. By popular demand, people want to see more vlog type stuff inside the car. I just want to do this quick video to do a little update. If any of you will be at Import Alliance in St. Louis here in a couple weeks, the last couple days of June, I got accepted to be in the showcase there. So honored to do that, excited for that. I'm only going to be there on Sunday. But if you plan on being at that, want to see my car in person, it'll be parked in the showcase on Sunday, if everything goes well. It's about a 3-hour drive for me. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that, because I really don't want to stay in a hotel in St. Louis by myself, and I really don't want to park my car in a parking lot in St. Louis for a night. But I have to be there at the gate by 6:30 or I can't get in showcase. Of course, now that that's coming up in basically 2 weeks or less, I've got a little bit of an issue with my car, and I'm going to try to diagnose that a little bit today. For some reason, when the car is cold, when I turn it on and I turn my key all the way to crank and start it, there is a hesitation, and it's kind of always been there a little bit, but it's just gotten to be a lot more of a hesitation here lately. So I'm a little bit worried about it. It almost left me stranded the other day. So I think it could be something on the starter itself. Could be the starter solenoid getting kind of sticky. Or I think it could be the ignition switch. So I took my ignition switch off last night and was messing around with that and actually broke one of the tabs off of it. So I probably should go ahead and get another one of those anyway. So I probably should get a new ignition switch today. I'm going to look around town and see if they have one locally. Luckily, I live in the same town as O'Reilly's warehouse, so if they don't have it in the store, I can usually drive straight over to the warehouse and pick it up. Throw that guy on, see if that fixes my problem. If not, I'll probably go into the starter. I'll be in the Import Alliance St. Louis showcase at the end of the month. So if any of you are subscribers to my channel and plan to be there, track me down and come say hi. I was going to finish this video, but over the last couple hours, ran into some issues. But while I was in town today, I thought I'll just take it by a couple places and have the battery tested, just to make sure that's not the possibility. First place I went to, the first guy that tested it, he was kind of an idiot. He was a nice guy, but he obviously didn't know what he was doing. And so I pull everything out of the way, pop the hatch, show it to him. He's like, "Is that that's the battery for the car?" I'm like, "Yep." He's like, "Oh, let me guess, you're having an issue with the car not wanting to stay running at red lights." I'm like, "Nope, that's not my issue at all." He was trying to say that my amplifier was pulling too much and killing the car. It's only like a 250 watt amp or something. It's not that much. It said battery checks out bad. Go to another place, the guy had a bad tester, and he's like, oh, it looks like it's good. I think it's good. So then I go to a third place, the guy tests bad, doing a load test on the battery. So then I get ready to leave, car won't start. From doing all the testing on it, it's put too much drain on it. It'll just barely crank, couldn't get it to start. So the guy at O'Reilly's jumped me. He was super cool. Anyway, it looks like that battery is probably the issue. Honestly, I'm surprised this lasted this long. I only expected it to last like 2 or 3 years max, and it's almost 5 years, so that's pretty good. And it's not totally dead. I mean, it still starts the car for the most part, but I just don't want to get stranded if I'm going to drive it to an event 3 hours away. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that thing out. I'm going to go to Batteries Plus in town to see what they have and compare that to what I paid for this one online, and I'll either get one in town or I'll buy another one from Amazon, another Odyssey from Amazon. It's been a great battery, so I'll probably go that route unless they have something they highly recommend here local. So, oh, well, it's the battery. Let's see if I can. It is the Odyssey Extreme PC680. They're not cheap, but pretty solid battery. I'm still dealing with the intermittent starting issue on the CRX. I've had the battery tested in the car like 4 times, and I've got mixed answers. Some say it passes, good battery. Some say it fails, bad battery. So I took the battery out of the car, put it on the trickle charger for like 2 days, took it to a Batteries Plus. The guy did a load test and said, that's a good battery. So then I take it to an O'Reilly's tonight, have him use the same tester the guy at O'Reilly's used on the same battery in my car, and he says it's pass, it's a good battery. He used 2 different testers. Both of them said it's a good battery. So I'm kind of back to square one. Now that the battery's out, I'm going to maybe run jumper cables directly from my truck or a van directly to the cables on the car. See what that does. I've also ordered an ignition switch. It was only $50 at O'Reilly. Those are some things I'm going to try. I'm kind of getting down to the wire. I've got just over a week until I'm supposed to take this thing to St. Louis for Import Alliance. So hopefully I get this figured out. If I'm still having the same intermittent issue, I hate not to go, but it's going to be a little nerve-wracking being 3 hours away, not knowing if my car is going to start or not. So see what we figure out. I think I just found a place where I chipped my some paint on my car from my camera falling on it. That's great. It's been a hard year for the CRX. It's not wanting to crank over. It's acting like it doesn't have enough juice at the key. But when I jump it directly on the starter, it cranks over just fine and fires up. Alright, let's try to jump it. I've got the actual battery back in the car. I'm going to jump it with the screwdriver again and see if it cranks over like it's strong. It cranks up like no problem. What am I doing? All I have to do is jump it, get the thing started, drive it into position. Here I am doing it the hard way. Well, it's not wanting to crank it all with the key now, so I'm fairly confident it could definitely be that ignition switch. So I've got another one of those coming tomorrow. Should be a pretty quick, easy switch over. So we'll see if that's the problem. We'll try that, see what happens. So the saga continues. Today I bought a new ignition switch and threw that in. I still have the same exact issue. I've charged the battery completely. I can use the screwdriver to jump the starter, the hot side on the starter to the solenoid. It still cranks kind of slow, so I also swapped out the main relay. I am about 95% sure it's probably the starter itself. It's looking like I'm going to try to find a starter if a buddy has one laying around for a B series, see if that's the issue. If not, I'll just have to buy one. I've got, you know, about another week before Import Alliance to run the battery through its paces. If the starter is the issue, I have a feeling there's a good chance I may end up getting a starter and a battery. But this will conclude this video for now. I will try to get this video uploaded, and then hopefully the next video I have will be the video about my trip to Import Alliance and telling you that I figured out the issue. So, see you then.